Hello, hello, hello. We still doing it? Is it still in stereo? Is it still working? We're doing 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys. Terry Gilliam's movie from 1996. Linked, I believe. Make a good double bill with Tenet. Why? How so? Well, again, I don't want to spoil it, but it deals with almost palindromic storytelling. We see the beginning at the end and the end at the beginning. Oh, complicated, but it's not like Tenet where time is flowing backwards and forwards. This is where we do the grandfather paradox. What if you kill your own grandfather and that kind of thing, in a way. Based on a movie called La Jetée by Chris Marker, which is, again, it's a curious black and white movie, which is almost told in still frames. 12 Monkeys, yeah, it was released in 1996 in the UK. And it deals with the story of a deadly virus. Oh, God. Being released in 1996, which almost wipes out humanity. Fortunately, the animals survive, and there are some humans living underground. Bruce Willis appears, and it was a real change for Willis, because in this movie, he usually plays like the tough guy, but in this film, he gets to play someone who is quite vulnerable. And it deals not only with the subject of time travel and deadly viruses and pandemics and survival, the end of the world, but it also deals with mental illness and reality, what is real, and how do we know exactly what is real or not. So yeah, I love this film. It's one of my favourites. Again, I'm a big Gilliam fan, and this movie, when it came out, again, it was it's just so futuristic. And again, a lot of the ideas in this have kind of come to pass. It deals with environmentalism, anti-capitalism, anti-corporate America. Also, deals with animal rights. Many aspects. Got a fantastic score. The music is based on our Argentinian tango, which is, again, really makes the movie. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. I don't really want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. But it also feeds in the idea of the Cassandra complex, which is something you should go and look up. That's fed into the movie. Cassandra was a character who she has the gift of prophecy, and she predicts bad things, and people don't believe her, but they come to pass because they're disbelieved, even though. And that's what the Cassandra complex is. And you have that theme is, again, in this movie, people not being believed. It's the end of the world and nobody believes Bruce Willis because he's from the future. Or is he? It keeps you guessing for the characters in the present timeline anyway. Also features a cameo by Brad Pitt. Gilliam was lucky to get Brad Pitt on board before Brad Pitt was like Brad Pitt, before he was like a major name. And it's interesting to see his performance in this, because it's very hyperactive, almost Robin Williams-esque, some could say. Again, you could imagine an alternate version of this where, if it was done in the 80s, that Williams would have been that character. And I think Nick Nolte was Gilliam's first choice for James Cole. And so you can imagine, it's done in the 80s with that character, Nick Nolte, and Robin Williams. Again, of course, Robin Williams was in Gilliam's Fisher King. So yeah, there's a lot in this, and I think it's a really good film. It's a bit more painful these days because of what's gone on with pandemics and with the dreaded COVID. But as a sci-fi film, it doesn't get hung up with the mechanics of time travel. They can just do this thing, and it's not always accurate. Mistakes can be made, and they don't talk about the science of it. They just say we can do this, and it also deals with the idea of fate. Can you escape your fate, even though you can see, your fate. Can you do anything to stop it, even though you're aware of your own fate? You know, like I say, there's a lot in this film, and you know, I think just over 2 hours long. I think it's a great movie, and again, watch it back to back with Tenet, because again, a lot of these concepts and ideas are replayed, but you know, in a slightly different way. Again, you have the end of the world doomsday scenario. We have plans within plans within plans. Again, with time travel, you can always have the advantage over yourself. That makes sense, but whether or not they use that, again, that's another theme that runs through this film, and yeah, I mean, I just think it's a great movie, and it did really well at the time. I think it was a big film at the time, but I think as years have gone past, it's kind of been forgotten, because it isn't flashy. You know, it's not a flashy film. It's quite urban and gritty, and again, Bruce Willis's performance is unlike anything he's ever done in any other film. There's a vulnerability there. You know, there's a bewilderment. You know, because again, very much he's as bewildered as the audience is, because it's not always apparent what's going on. You know, again, it's one of those films that does bear a second or third watch. They made a TV series of it. Never watched it. I'm sure it's I don't think it did very well, but ignore that. Watch the movie instead, because again, it deals with all these concepts and more. And I think again, it make a good double bill with Tenet. So yeah, that's all I've got to say really. Again, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, and it's a good film. But yeah, don't forget, we try and get some interaction going here. Do tell me what you like about this film. What did you think of Brad Pitt turning up? You know, what did you think about the bit with the teeth? That's good. And of course, Madeleine Stowe's in it as well. I always liked her. She's in the movie. I think she's been most recently seen in what was she in recently? I'm trying to think. Yeah, she actually appears in the 12 Monkeys TV show. There you go. So that's the thing. But yeah, she kind of went off the scene, which is a shame. But there you go. Do check it out. Oh, and of course, the legendary Christopher Plummer is in it. I mean, he plays Brad Pitt's dad. So yes, it's a pretty interesting cast. So if you haven't seen it, do check it out. And if you fancy doing it with a double bill with Tenet, I think you'll be very satisfied, because they both got the same kind of feel to them. Though one's like a James Bond film and the other is more, well, again, I don't know what to call it. Environmental thriller. Again, science fiction. I don't know. With all this COVID, it turned it into a documentary, didn't it? Anyway, thank you for watching. Mine's been Darren Locke. I've been talking about 12 Monkeys, a brilliant film by Terry Gilliam, that guy from the Monty Pythons and everything. And do check it out. It's from 1996, but it's aged really well. It's a good one, and it does make you wonder where all the time went. I remember I actually saw this as a press screening. I wrote a movie review for this, because you know, back in the day I used to do that kind of stuff. But I actually went to a press screening in the heart of Soho with a load of other journos, and it was good. But anyway, that's me flexing. Thanks for watching. There's only one more thing left to say. By now you should know what that is, and that is ta-da.